Hello, hello. How you doing, ladies? I'm setting up this live for the first time in BraveHeart, trying to see how it's working, how it's going. Hey, ladies, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for deciding to take part in the free 90-day launch pass for the BraveHeart Women Rising Leaders Circle. This is your girl, Jackie B. And today I wanted to speak to you, which I will be doing every Monday, about the topic of mindfulness. Every Monday, I will go live doing a mindfulness Monday message simply because of the fact that I know personally how this particular practice will helps us to actually manage our story, our state, and our strategy when we're in the midst of a good time in our life as well as amid a challenging time. So thank you so much for being and choosing to be a member of this particular program. I appreciate you being here. And today, the topic is on, as I stated, mindfulness. Now, in case you are new to me and you have not read anything that I've ever written, whether it's an article or a book, I want to give you my experience of mindfulness. When my teenage son, Blaise, died unexpectedly many decades ago, I walked around in a state, in a state of desperation, but it was quiet. I kept my grief within myself. I didn't share it with anyone. Actually, I was afraid to grieve because I didn't believe my heart was strong enough in order for me to be able to experience it without losing my whole sense of myself. It was through the practice of mindfulness that I began to recognize that part of my suffering that I was feeling and experiencing had was the result actually of me focusing on what I could not do, what I felt that what the story that I was telling myself about being afraid of not allowing myself to grieve because my heart wasn't strong enough, which wasn't true, but that was the story that I was telling myself at that time. And as a result, I walked around doing for almost 3 years in this state of quiet desperation. And I'm sure that perhaps you may have had this dark night of the soul in your own life where you were suffering, but you didn't share it with anyone. You were hurting, but you weren't truthful to yourself or anybody else about what was truly causing you the suffering that you were experiencing. One of the things that I learned with studying mindfulness meditation is that, according to Jack Kornfield, who's a Buddhist philosopher and teacher, is that pain is inevitable in life. None of us are immune to pain. However, suffering is something that we can do something about because our suffering is normally a result of what we're thinking and what we're feeling and the actions that we're taking or not taking as a result of a unexpected challenge most often that occurs in our life. Now, we've all have been affected and we are still being affected by COVID-19, which this is definitely bringing up a lot of strong emotions in all of us about what we should do, what can we do, and feeling helpless and powerless over the situation. But one of the things that I realized with mindfulness is that we're able to actually tap into a greater level of our spiritual strength when we become mindful of the story that we're telling ourselves, mindful of the state that is being caused by the story that we are actually telling ourselves, and mindful of the strategy, which is the actions that we do or don't do as a result of the story that we're telling ourselves. Mindfulness is critical if you want to be able to move forward amid this COVID-19 crisis. We have to become mindful. And mindfulness is just basically being present with the truth of what is. Not dismissing it, not denying it, not numbing ourselves so that we don't feel it, but allowing ourselves to truly feel what we're feeling, acknowledge what we're thinking about the situation, and then recognizing whether or not our actions or inactions is adding to our well-being or not. Mindfulness is a powerful tool that you can begin to use as you navigate your experience of COVID-19, navigate your next level to level up your own self, your own leadership. And most of all, mindfulness actually helps us to tap into the strength, the spiritual strength that sits in the core of our being, in the seat of our soul, which is accessible to each of us, but we have to be mindful of it. So today, I want you to think about how you're being present with the thoughts and beliefs that you're having about COVID-19 or any other struggle or challenge you may have. I want you to think about how that story, those thoughts, are causing you to feel some kind of way. And that feeling some kind of way is causing you to feel disempowered, to feeling powerless or hopeless. We are divine beings. And as a result, we're not powerless. But because of our stories, the narratives, the self-talk that we tell ourselves over and over, day in and day out, that defines whether or not we show up in the fullness of our power or whether or not we begin to shrink back as a result of the disempowering story that we're telling ourselves. Because when we don't feel good about ourselves, when we don't feel good about our life, we tend to want to become shadows of ourselves. When God expects us to be the light of who we are, so that we can express more love, more gratitude, and most important, more power in living out the fullness of our divine purpose. Today, I encourage you to begin to think about how present you are with what you are feeling at this moment. Whatever you're feeling, I want you to honor what you're feeling. I want you to acknowledge your thoughts. There's nothing wrong with it. We're human beings. We're not machines. But understand this, mindfulness in its fullness of its power can help you not only recognize the story you're telling yourself, recognize the feelings and thoughts that you have associated with whatever is taking place in your life. Mindfulness can help you create a strategy for you to move forward. And as I'm always saying, we can baby step our way to greatness. We can baby step our way to bouncing back. We can baby step our way to leveling up. We can baby step our way to activating more of our greatness. We don't have to try to do it all in one swoop. We have the power sitting in the seat of our soul to be able to move forward amid challenging times. So I challenge you today to begin to learn more about mindfulness and begin to adopt the practice of being present with what is, so that you're not suffering needlessly because you're denying the truth of what is. Because that's what caused my suffering. When I look back at it, even before now, if you read my book, Get Unstuck Now, you know I recognized it several years later after my son's um, death, was that I was the creator of my own suffering. And so I'm sharing this because I don't want you to be in that same shoe. I don't want you to have that same experience. And if you are, I want you to know, I want you to be encouraged that there is a way out. And mindfulness is a tool that can help you move out of the suffering, no matter how dire it is, so that then you can begin to own your power, the power to tell the story that you need to tell yourself in order to feel empowered, to feel powerful as you are, to feel like your best self, even amid this challenge. Mindfulness is the tool that can help you to be able to look at how you're feeling and how you are thinking about the situation, and be okay with it. Accept your humanity while at the same time feel encouraged and inspired from within your soul to be able to baby step your way forward. We can do this together. You have the power within you. I have the power within me. And together, we are going to rise up. Together, we're going to lead. And together, we're going to slay our greatness in a big way. I hope this message does you good, serves you in some small way to remind you of who you truly are, that despite what you may be struggling with, just know that you are a powerful divine being that's having a human experience on this earth. And everything, the strength and the power that you need is already in the seat of your soul. All you need to do is to tap into it. And I'm looking forward to helping you activate your greatness. Yes, unleash your leadership and embrace life with a heart wide open. Have a great day.